All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an interesting 5-day weekend of Marathon Server Slam that Bungie just recently held here ahead of launch. The game's going to be coming out globally here in about 3 days, so basically can be considered a soft launch. They also had some level-based launch rewards for those who participated in the stress test. And one of the really interesting things that I think was actually incredibly similar to Arc Raiders, now come to think of it, is the mixed reception of the stress test. The similarities that I'm noticing are new entries into a relatively niche market from established studios. Of course, Embark has established themselves with the finals, and even more so now. Of course, they are a respected name in the industry with the success of Arc Raiders. And of course, here with Bungie, they themselves will market the game with from the creators of Halo and Destiny, giving new and legacy players a bit of something to expect in terms of presentation and gameplay when they actually do get their hands on the game. And the reason why I specifically remember the public reception is because despite the reports that were coming out on how successful Arc Raiders was commercially, when you looked online, the feedback was all over the place. Arc is too strong. The key rooms suck. Shouldering in PvP. They're sitting in bushes. They're camping in windows and rooms. The backstabbing, the betrayal, the gray weapons are too strong. The gray weapons are too weak. The purple weapons are too strong. The purple weapons are too weak. Bastions, bombardiers, and rocketeers need to be nerfed. The security breach got nerfed right before most of the player base was able to get it. And of course, the infamous everlasting debate between PvE and PvP. And here we are 9 months after the announcement of Marathon's delay from September 2025 to March of 2026, following not just the feedback from the initial reveal trailer, but also, more importantly, from the alpha build of the game that would end up being critical to its success. And when Bungie would go on to release their vision of Marathon Vidoc in December about all the changes they've made since they've essentially gone off the radar in June of 2025, the tone would change significantly. The visuals got a huge improvement. They added solos, prox chat, and a scav mode. They were already talking about future plans with maps that have different identities and an end game with raid-like puzzles and boss fights. Deep seasonal progression trees that quest you differently and reward you uniquely depending on what benefits they offer, such as stash space, heat reduction, ability cooldown reduction. You get to improve your sponsored kit strength, and you get to improve your rook. A lot of these systems that work very nicely together to create what a lot of folks would refer to as an FPS roguelike experience. And even in one of the dev interviews held by Drewski with a Y, it was revealed that the game is more so centered around raising the floor so that you can become stronger and more efficient from run to run, rather than looking for valuables or things to sell. And with all those changes and additions, Bungie was essentially laying the groundwork for the redemption arc. And now that people have gotten to play the game over the past 5 days, one thing has become incredibly evident above all else. The hate for this game is extremely manufactured. It definitely has real issues and things that it can improve on in terms of user experience or economy. And there's definitely a lot of things we don't know about the game because we were essentially playing what I guess they're calling a slice of the full experience, where we're to be expecting loads more content on launch and for season 1. But despite the actual issues that the Server Slam revealed to us, there has been a copious amount of nothing burger criticism directed towards this game. So much so that they're willing to lie about Marathon. They're willing to fabricate information and mislead the public, all in pursuit of trying to perform the biggest dunk on this game they possibly can. Because if everyone else can't be as miserable as them, then they have to find some way to express that disdain for whatever it is they don't like about this game. Now, of course, Twitter is not a real place, but for the sake of discussion and in defense of what is shaping out to be a pretty cool game, let's take a look at this parent tweet here. There's an image of the Reaper going from door to door. First stop at Concord, second stop at Highguard, and third stop at Marathon. The post reads, according to Steam database, there were mass refund requests after the recent Marathon server slam. This game will probably be the most refunded game in 2026, and we are only in February. And the quote tweet from TBH reads, you cannot track a game's refunds via Steam database. You are allowed to dislike Marathon, but what purpose does this lie serve? What happened to providing constructive criticism, then moving on? The gaming community in 2026 has become next level weird. This is clear cut propaganda trying to get anyone who might even be interested in Marathon at all to look away from this game, because apparently it is not worth your time, money, or any bit of attention that you could possibly want to give to it. And if that was the case, which it's not, because a lot of players signed into the server slam, they retained a decent amount of players over the course of that 5-day weekend. Content scene for this game has been growing ever since the server slam and will only continue to grow once the game comes out. And if we want to use SteamDB numbers, people seem to be quite interested in what it is that Bungie has to offer in this new premium experience this time around. So again, this furthermore is just proof that people feel it in their gut, in their soul, that they need to hate on the next game coming up, whether it be successful or not. And the funny thing is, by the time, the server slam started on February 26th, by the time February 27th rolled around, if you were going into different Twitch chats, regardless of your account, if it was 200, if it was 1,000, if it was 1,200, 2,000, didn't matter. A lot of people were actually having productive conversations about the game. They weren't saying, is it better than Ark Raiders? It looks like Roblox. Oh, Minecraft got a new update. Just spamming, repeating the same thing over and over, saying that the game looks like ass, looks like Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, whatever the hell they were saying. And from what I noticed, a sizable portion of those people admitted they hadn't even downloaded the server slam. So what are we really talking about at the end of the day? The Marathon Hate Council is trying to do everything they possibly can to make sure that this game does not get its shine. And the hate won't stick because people are actually enjoying the experience that they're playing, and they're providing valuable feedback to the developers that they can use to improve the core experience. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see Marathon succeed, be sure to leave a like on this video and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm interested to know what you think about this whole Marathon situation. Are you pre-ordering the game? Do you like the game? Are you skeptical of the game? Are you going to be playing it on launch? Because on this side, we are definitely going to be playing the game on launch. We are incredibly excited for what Bungie has to offer. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.